Good evening, everyone. A 20-year-old murder case in Columbus is cracked, and forensics experts point to technology and DNA as the winning combination. Now 52-year-old David Murray is charged with capital murder in the 1996 murder of Mac Fowler.
Our Jory Talley now joins us live in Columbus with more on the role science plays in solving cases.
Andre and Joey, the Columbus Crime Lab has the tools and technology to help detectives solve cases, whether they happened 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago. Their doors opened back in 2005, and some of the first cases they worked were the unsolved deaths of the 5 elderly residents from the 1990s. With an arrest made, the scientists are seeing their work paid off. Law enforcement have more technology to solve crimes in 2017 than the investigators who first saw the crime scene at Mac Fowler's home in 1996.
If there's good preservation of evidence and good chain of custody, nowadays I think we're going to be able to solve a lot of cold cases with the DNA technology.
The director of the Mississippi Forensic Laboratory System in Pearl says it's one of the most powerful tools to put people in handcuffs. He credits officers for their work and how they stored the items in Fowler's home for a DNA match almost 21 years later.
It's only as good as the evidence collection that's done by those investigators. And in this case, they did a fantastic job, and it just took time and technology and patience to get a result.
Columbus Crime Lab Director Austin Shepard says TV shows like CSI lead people to believe forensic results are done in a matter of minutes, but that's far from the truth.
This is not something that happens within a day or two. It takes weeks, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of people going on that database. So that individual could be, number 1,000 in the list of people to enter that week.
There are over 100,000 profiles in the state's DNA database. However, there are a number of ways crime scene investigators collect physical evidence.
Ballistics, trace, DNA, fingerprints, footwear impressions, tire tracks. I mean, there's absolutely tons of stuff out there.
With all of that evidence comes different ways to process and verify what can eventually be used in court. Usually, it will be tested by multiple experts before a person is arrested. Some of the evidence can also be put through national databases, such as the one that found Murray. Shepard says the key is to collect and preserve evidence as soon as he arrives at a scene.
The thing about evidence is, it's not excited by the moment. It's not biased. It doesn't get confused. It just is. And it's our job as scientists, our job as investigators to be able to recognize it and be able to analyze it and get as much information as possible.
In 2015, Mississippi started putting felony arrestees in the DNA databases. Murray was put in the system back in October. Reporting live in Columbus, Jory Talley, WCBI News.
All right, Jory, thanks so much. Well, preservation is key in investigations, but good reports are also important. Police reports tell a story. It should include every detail and answer basic questions like who, what, when, where, and why. Report writing is important in every aspect of law enforcement and has to be done on every case. Master Sergeant Narcotics Agent Kevin Forster has been teaching report writing to officers and deputies for a number of years. He says a good report should put you back at the scene, and that's exactly what one investigator did for police in the Mac Fowler case.
If you don't write a good enough report, as many cases and as many reports as you write over a 3-year period, it's impossible to remember every little detail. So that's why you make a very good detailed report so that this report will refresh in your memory as you go back over it.
There's a good sketch of the scene. Even the reports, I talked to one of the investigators this morning and told him that his report put me back inside the scene the way he wrote it. The details that he put into it, you could read it and actually go back in and relive that scene as an officer would in 1996.
And Forrester adds that grammar and spelling are also key in those police reports.